the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Oh boy. Hey everybody. If you don't know who I am, I'm Joe Zimmer, and we are here tonight to celebrate a life. Those of you who knew Chris know what a life it was, and we are going to celebrate that life tonight with as few tears as possible. It's not to say that I'm not prepared for that, okay? But tears were not what Chris was about, and we are going to avoid that. There's Jay Holtz is here. We've got Tony Ross here and Ginger, Tony and Ginger from Orlando. Bill Allman is up there, all names that I'm familiar with. And we've also got with us tonight Jack Ledoux, who is a dear friend and a dear friend of Christopher's. And hi, Jack.
I'm ready.
You're ready. Hi, Jack, as they say over at the stunt show. Don't say that.
I've never heard that before, Joe.
And they used it in every single show over there. Now, we have a special guest co-host tonight, and I'm really thrilled to have this lady on with us because she is a dear, dear, dear friend. And, well, her whole family, her mom and her dad and Chris and me, mostly Chris. But here is the one and only Ann Sheets, Ann Barnes Sheets. Hi, Ann.
Hello.
Now, Ann is coming to us from Orlando, as is Jack and myself. And Ann, I've got to explain to you the reason I used that particular photo of you in the opening was I'm going to show everybody which photo I'm talking about. Where is it? The photo I'm talking about is, where did it go? It was right here a minute ago. See how prepared I am? Not, there it is. That photo right there, I had a reason for this particular photo, and I'll show you what it is. It is because of this particular photo right here.
Exactly.
And then this particular photo here, which was shortly before I got yelled at for dropping my mask for a moment. And she was right, I was wrong. And let's start right off the bat with you.
Okay.
Because
try my best. Yes.
The earliest of the who we got here. J-Bo is from Orlando. J-Bo the clown. It's nice of him to join us. And Tony and
J-Bo.
And everybody, listen, if you are, there's 13 of you in here. I want to know who you are. So please tell me who you are. I'm hoping that works. Can't post comments from some destinations. I can just imagine where you can't post comments from. No, you can see them from every place that I'm looking at. Okay. Anyways, Ann, tell us how you knew Christopher John Heit.
Well, I knew Christopher because before I worked at Disney, we were frequent visitors to Disney. My family loved coming down for vacation. We lived in Massachusetts, but we came down 2 or 3 times a year, probably from 1982, just kept on coming down. So somewhere around 88, I believe, 89 is when I started working for the company, is when we met Christopher. My mother was a huge fan of live entertainment. She herself had been an actress when she was young. She loved coming to Disney and seeing all of the live performances, especially the parades, because she felt like that was a good chance to interact with the performers and to really cheer them on. Someone tipped her off early on, could have been Christopher, might have been you, that if you stood kind of towards the end of the parade route, that's where the performers needed the most cheerleading because they were so tired and so hot and so worn down. And everybody on Main Street's like, woo, here we go. But by the time you get to Frontierland, everybody's like, yeah, whatever, I'm eating this turkey leg. Oh, there's a parade. So she chose a spot across from the Diamond Horseshoe where she would stand and cheer these performers on. And then it got to be kind of a thing where if somebody was off the clock, they would come and stand with her and watch the parade. And that kind of took on a whole thing where more and more people did that. But Christopher and you and Jean Harding and a few other people were the first to do that and kind of welcome her. Dustin Snell, a lot of people in the beginning were like welcoming of the energy that she brought. And then it just made sense that when I got to be a certain age that I would apply to Disney. We had a house down here, so I started working at Disney. And then that gave her even more reason to come down and visit. So she became.
I think she was down far more than just once, 2 or 3 times a year. So for those of you who are wondering, who the heck is this woman we're talking about? Well,
Annie.
Let me show you. You'll see, and many of you who are here, I know will recognize that face right there. Well, probably recognize both faces. That, of course, is Christopher, and that is the one and only Jean Barnes right there. Or is it okay to say what they called her?
It's okay, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Grandma ELP, they called her. Jean was always right across from the Diamond Horseshoe at a lamppost that is now gone, but there is, I think there's still a scar there, Ann.
There is a scar in the ground where the lamppost, you can take the lamppost, but you cannot take away the scar.
Exactly. And there's another photo of Jean and Chris. I'm pretty sure these photos that we're looking at, look at how young, oh God. There's another photo of Jean, there's Annie and
I got some
Jean.
big hair back then, so yeah, that's to tell you it's the 80s because of the hair.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And there is Jean and Chris and Herb Barnes, 2 of the most generous, well, 3 actually, including Annie, of the most generous, delightful people you ever want to meet in your entire life. I have to tell you. Tony Ross knew exactly who that was.
Tony, I remember.
And there's Rhett Monson from Las Vegas. Hi, Rhett. And I got to tell you, these were wonderful people. And Chris, of course, being Chris, and would this is one of my favorites that you sent me, Ann. This I'm assuming. No, I'm not. I don't have to assume. I know for sure that is at the character dinner. Over at that Contemporary. And I think, again, that was one of the first times ever that, and this one right here, you can see the back of Jean's head, and we know that's Chris. We know that's Chris. How do we know that's Chris? Because, well, Jean knew. And
it was labeled in the photo album that way, so it must be true.
Exactly. And odds are Chris told her.
Yes.
And this is another one that's terrific. He was a clown in the Electric Light Parade. And what else have we got? On this one here, Brer Fox with the foil hat in the Electric Light Parade.
Yep.
It took me like 5 minutes to figure out what the heck was going on there. And it looks like foil to me. It really does.
Yeah.
He's blocking out the space aliens that way.
Exactly. Chris spent well over 25 years at Walt Disney World performing as I can say it in here. I don't think anybody's going to be too awfully upset with me as performing as a character entertainer. Okay. And having a regular riot doing it. I think everybody who's saying, Ann, I know you've seen him do it, can say that he was pretty amazing at what he did. I'll show you something interesting here, and forgive me because some of these photos are going to come up in a montage later on, but this is one of my absolute favorites right here.
So
I don't know who that kid is, and I don't know where, but I do know that I once in a while played host when I was in that department, and I got to watch him do his thing. And let me tell you something, Chris was to the point especially with Pluto, where he actually watched our dog Lucky to see how a dog would respond to people. And he worked that into it.
Mhm.
He worked that into it. I watched him for a half-hour set over in Tomorrowland. I never had more fun in my life than that. I really didn't. And he got around, let me tell you.
Yeah.
He was all over the place. He played quite a few characters. He always pretty much anything that was his height and furry, he was involved in. Here's another one. This is over on the bus at Epcot. That was one of his favorite gigs. He was there with some real good friends of his. He loved doing that one. Interestingly enough, and Jack, these are all over your face. I'm sorry.
I don't care. I want to see him. I want to see them all.
Interestingly enough,
I can take a second out if you need to.
No.
this photo right here, you wouldn't know it unless I told you.
Mhm.
But it is literally, it was not in the Christmas parade. It was at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
But this was literally the only time Christopher and I literally appeared on stage with each other at the Magic Kingdom. And I'll let you guess who's who. I can tell you right now, Chris is not wearing the red diaper. But he is visible in the picture. Well, yes, he is visible.
Yeah, he's visible. He's visible.
His alter ego is visible in the picture, and my alter ego is visible in the picture.
Yes.
So this is a very special picture to me. Not to mention one of the warmer pictures in that I can think of as far as the heat of the day.
Mhm.
So it's so much, I'm so lucky. And I think all of us who are here probably would say, if you knew Chris, that, my nephew is here. How no? What does the character job pay decent? The only reason I ask, because it had to be hot as hell in the costume in the warm months.
Not really.
Well, I guess I can tell you, Jess. How do you answer that? It was hot as hell in the warm months. I'm breaking a couple of rules there, but you know what? I'm 59. I'm 60 this year. I don't care anymore. Others might, but I don't. So it was all right. I guess it was all right. We got by. We got by. So
I think
there
the
it is.
cost of living was better in Orlando back then. I really do. I feel like everything was kind of, you made a little more and it didn't cost as much to live here. And we're just having that conversation today. It was a different time. It really was.
It really was. Yeah. Because I remember, I used to do tour guides, work for Suncoast Rep. We won't talk about those people and how much money they owe everybody else. But we used to take the pound stretcher tours for the breakfast. I dated Pooh for a while. Drank too much. Okay.
Got a stick you could
Not a
just
children's
get it off.
But
there's Tony Ross. Tony Ross hits it on the head right here.
A lot of overtime. Exactly.
A lot of overtime. Let me tell you, at Christmas time, our Christmas Eve, back then they closed the Magic Kingdom early on Christmas Eve. Back in the day. I think that's when I was still, I don't even know. Then they stopped doing that because they could make money.
Right. They could double ticket the park. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, because I used to sell those.
And so our Christmas Eve generally at that time consisted of doing the parade. It really did. It was, and you know what? We had a ball.
Yeah,
we had a ball. Yeah. Christmas Day. One year, the Magic Kingdom, it snowed. Remember that, Ann? Were you around for that? I don't think you were down here for that.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
What year was that, Joe? What was year?
Oh, God. 19. I don't remember.
1918. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was, but I remember it snowed. Here, Tony Ross, again, 1989.
1989.
I was here in 89, but I
1989.
wasn't working on Christmas Day that year.
I thought I remembered that because we were in Daytona and we came out because it was snowing and we couldn't get in because it was closed.
Yep. And I got to tell you, Jess, yes, I loved that job.
Yeah.
I also adored my job. I adored every job I ever did at Disney.
Yeah.
I loved it. I guess my favorite would have been the Diamond Horseshoe. And if I didn't say that, Chris would say, why didn't you say that?
Yeah.
Tony was friends with Sebastian that year. Yeah, Sebastian, the what do you call it? The crab.
The crab. Yeah.
Hey, Michael Walters is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Michael.
Michael, do you want to come on camera? You're welcome to if you'd like to. I wish I could say I love my. Well, you'll get there, Jet. No, you won't. He bumps where I walk. He's not going to get there to love that.
Oh dear.
But I got to tell you, it's a joy. In a minute, he's going to come on. Great.
Good.
We're going to have Michael Walters come on, and that'll be nice too. And I know Michael's got some great stories. Anybody, listen, if you are out there and you've got a story, crabsicle. That's funny, Tony. If you are out there, you've got a story and you want to tell it, please. If you can't comment in here, if I'm not seeing your comments in the room, which is possible, apparently, please instant message me and I'll get you on camera. There's a way to do it. It's not that hard. I know how to do it.
It can't be that hard.
It's true.
Yeah, it's a very easy thing to send in Messenger, and I'm doing that right now for Michael. Just give me 1 second, kids.
No.
There we
It's
go.
so nice to see you, Ann. It's so nice.
Oh, it's so good to see you, Jack.
I know. We hardly ever
So-
do well. Yeah.
It's and so we that was the year it snowed and everything died in the Magic Kingdom. And I think actually that year was in between when I was over at Epcot doing the trunk shows and going and winding up at the Diamond Horseshoe ultimately, which, wow, and I got to watch the parade. I got to watch the parade on television that year, but everything was, no, I didn't. It's a lie. I was actually in the park. I worked Christmas morning, but everything was dead. Everything was dead. And when we did get down to the Main Street break room to watch the parade on TV, they positioned the cameras so you couldn't see that everything was dead. And I remember telling Chris after the parade was over, of course, he had to do like another parade and 16 shows that night and all that happy stuff. I remember telling Chris about the Jungle Cruise in the morning. They had turned the sprinklers on to get everything, save everything. Well, there were icicles all over, literally icicles. I mean, it literally froze up the whole damn place. It was nuts. It was just nuts. But what a joy. What a joy. My nephew's saying the general is my father, for those of you who are. Thank you. I look like I do look like my father, I guess. That's okay. Worse things could happen to me. I do want to, I want to, if you've got a favorite story, please tell it. I don't know. I'm going to tell you two little stories right now that are so important to me, and I know incredibly important to Chris. I guess in 2020 it was. Hi, Judy. In 2020, we went to the Magic Kingdom, and this literally was the very last time Chris went to the Magic Kingdom. We were with my dear, dear friends, Doug Michael Lucas and Michael Walters. And the only one, Michael Walters. And that was the very last time we went. And I'll tell you that, interestingly enough, we were in the new Fantasyland for the very first time at that time, for Chris anyways. And we ran across a character that we both knew very well. And I know many of you in the audience know, and I know the three people up here on the screen know as well. named the fairy godmother.
Mm-hmm.
And we also knew Snow White quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Quite well. Another lifetime ago. Anyways, so we saw that young lady. Hi, Teresa. How are you? There's Teresa Heit. That's Chris's cousin right there. And Ella is there too. And Sean is her husband. Very nice people. Lovely, lovely people. From Ohio. I didn't send the wrong link, Michael. It's the only link there is. I'm sorry. I don't know why that is. Anyways, I don't know why that's working that way. But so we saw the fairy godmother, and Chris was in his scooter, okay? And it was Michael, Doug, and myself, and Chris. And she had a crowd around her. A massive crowd around her, which, no surprise, it's the fairy godmother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she saw Chris, the fairy godmother did, and she literally, we were way off to all we were going to do was observe. We were just watching. And it was really weird because she just looked at all those people and said, I'm going over here, basically, is what she said, what she did.
Yeah.
And she did that. And she grabbed onto Chris like there was no tomorrow. And Chris grabbed onto her, and there was much rejoicing and kisses and everything. And it was just the most, honest to God, the most wonderful thing. It truly was. And every time, so let's flash forward. Chris, by the way, passed away just before Thanksgiving of last year. And let's flash forward to just the other day. Thursday, we went out to the Magic Kingdom. I'm walking into the Magic Kingdom, Hospitality House side. Those of you who have been around long enough know what I'm talking about. I don't know what they call it now, but that's where I was. Coming into this little tunnel there to go meet my friend across the way. And up on the train station were all the princesses, all those beautiful princesses, every one of them. And there was fairy godmother. Well, I didn't care. She wouldn't know who the hell I was. Apparently, I changed a little bit. If you look at that picture, you can see I was fat. Jesus. So I took my mask and I pulled it off and I waved and I caught her attention. She saw my face and she waved and we talked and she said, "Oh God, you got thin." And we talked, like that, as characters could do. Okay. We knew how to communicate wordlessly. And then she blew me a kiss. And I felt like she blew that. First off, I felt like she blew that kiss to both me and to Chris, quite frankly. And she probably did. But I will tell you, when she blew that, when the fairy godmother blew me a kiss, I was like a little kid all over again. It was amazing. It was amazing. Can you guys talk for a second? I've got to send an email to Michael, okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Can you try something else?
Ourselves.
Hopefully I can do it this way.
This is, what's funny? I was going to tell the story and I'll do it while he's here doing his thing. I didn't know Chris as well as long as any of you did, because it was just, I knew Chris when Joey and I were hanging at Titanic, but I didn't really get to know him until a little bit later. And there was a story I wanted to tell, so I'll tell it now while he's doing this. We had this little secret, and I'm not going to say what it is because Joe doesn't need to know. No one needs to know. But one day we were talking. We were in the car actually. And Joe was driving. We're talking, going somewhere. I don't remember where. And Chris asked me a question, and it was about acting and what I was afraid of and stuff like that. And we just kind of had a conversation. And I went, I don't tell him, but he goes, okay. And I said, but I'll tell you if you promise never to tell Joe, because I don't want anybody to know, just between you and me. And he goes, yep. So I told him what my answer was. And he looked at me and he goes, you shouldn't be afraid of that, Jack. We'll always be there to take care of you. And I just went, and that was the secret. And well, part of the secret. And I said, well, what about you? And then he told me, and he said, please don't ever tell anybody else. And I said, I promise. So that was the thing between us, always. And no, I'm not going to say what it was. It was something between the two of us. But it was funny because I remember I was there at the house, and I popped in, and he didn't like people walking in, and I knew that later on. And I walked in, and Joe was getting something, and we were going to be leaving. I think it was for Santa. I think some Santa thing or something, Joe. And I said, hey, and he said, oh, it's okay if you come in. And I went, okay. He goes, because we have secrets. And I go, uh-huh. And he said, and I said, I haven't said anything. He said, me neither. And then Joe came back out and we went out, but I never forgot that. And it was like this little special thing that I had with this wonderful guy who out of nowhere just said, no, I'll keep your secret. Let's, and then every once in a while he'd go, I haven't told Joe, just like that. And we would just crack up, and Joe would go, what are you talking about? Nothing.
Then she took him to see my show, and they busted his glasses. Right then
and he got hit in the face with a basketball. You know what he told me? Do you know what he said to me? It was funny. After we were sitting there, and this out of nowhere, the basketball comes right, and of course it hits Chris. It was so fast. Right in the glasses, broke his brand new glasses that Joe had just gotten. And I go, are you okay? Are you okay? He goes, shh, shh, shh. And I go, what? Are you okay? He goes, yes, Joe's on. I was like, but are you okay? He goes, Joe's on. I'm like, okay. Wow. He didn't want to interrupt you or anything. Joe's on. And
and I know when that was in the show, because I know when the basketball was in the show.
Exactly. So. And I know. And he was so worried that it was gonna throw you or something. He was more worried about that. And
I heard about it. I heard about it after the fact.
Oh yeah.
I heard about it after the fact. So during intermission, actually, I think, or when that was after intermission.
It was after intermission. It was after intermission.
It's not important. It's not important.
But it was funny that he was more worried about your show, about you in the show, than himself.
So funny. Annie, do you have a story at all?
You must know my favorite night of my entire life, Joe. You must know the night that I laughed more than I've ever laughed. The night that we were so slap happy that we couldn't even stand anymore. And then my mother made us go to breakfast even after we had been up for over 20 minutes.
Very funny that you would mention that particular night. That was it wasn't 4th of July, but
it was the taping for
4th of July, where Chris appeared on stage with this young lady right here in the center, Carol Channing. And that's true. And myself and Jean.
Yeah.
And Herb was the only smart one of the three of us. I think he stayed in Massachusetts for that.
Yeah, I don't think he was on that trip now.
Yeah. But we decided we're going to go watch the filming of the 4th of July special, right?
Yep.
And Sandy Patty and Carol Channing were these stars, right?
Yes.
And it was very funny because Sandy and Carol were up on the stage, and Sandy, and they said something, and then, I don't think Carol and Sandy, do you remember this?
Yeah.
I don't think Carol and Sandy have met. So the guy's on the microphone saying, Carol, and Sandy Patty turned around and walked her butt right off the stage.
Yeah.
When being introduced to Carol Channing. Now, I don't think it was an intentional snub. I don't think.
Who knows?
But I do recall seeing it, and Chris remembered that too, because he was on stage because they had to cut and start over again, which is they do that. And then so that was now we're going to bring another person live and in person into the stream, ladies and gentlemen, all the way. Are you ready for this? All the way from New York, in his palatial palatial apartment, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Walters. Look at him.
You dirty bum.
Thank you. You could do that now. Michael, I don't know if you know Ann. This is Ann Barnes.
Hi, Ann.
This
How
is
are you?
Michael Walters and Jack Ledoux. Michael is, I have to tell you, and I can tell you this now, that Michael, if you ever wanted to know what Chris's passwords are for his any of his stuff, and you didn't know what they were, and they said, well, what is your secret code? It is, what is your favorite singer? And the answer to, and he meant this, the answer to that question was Michael Walters.
Mhm.
Well, that's very sweet. It's always been very flattering to have him say that.
And he means it. He meant it. Look
No,
at
I
you
know he
with the
meant
little
it.
beard
I know he
going.
meant it. It was but it's very flattering.
Looks good, Michael.
What?
The beard.
Oh God! You know what? I just got lazy, and then I decided, well, who knows? Somebody's casting Tevye somewhere.
Michael, now I have another story about Chris, and it's got to do with this picture right here. This is in Wilton Manors. This is after I got back from
Japan.
shortly after. Obviously, I might have just gotten off the plane. I'm still dressed for it. That is the one and only Michael Walters portraying the one and only Dame Edna, as only Michael can portray.
That's another reason for this. I don't have to do it.
Exactly.
I don't have to dress up.
Exactly. And Michael, of course, was with us. Michael and Doug was with us at that very last time at the Magic Kingdom, and actually witnessed that moment with
Yes.
the fairy godmother. Let me tell you something, folks. JB.
It turned out you knew that fairy godmother too.
Oh boy, did we! I know that lady. Yeah, Jay Holtz. Yeah. JB is her initials. And I guess I really can't say. I don't want to say any more than that because I've already overdone the
Destroyed the illusion for millions of children.
Yes, all the children that are watching right now.
Yeah.
The one.
But Joanne was a dear friend. Is still a dear friend. She's still out there at Disney. She's a great person.
Oh,
and
I totally forgot to mention this to you. If you're interested.
Oh my God.
This is Michael's palatial apartment in New York, filled with a palatial amount of boxes.
The kitchen and the bathroom are done. And
Well, at least you got the essentials.
Yes, Doug is currently.
Now, Michael, I've got to ask you: do you have a favorite Christopher story? I'm sure you do.
I do. Honestly,
and maybe more than one.
A couple, but the one that I recall most of all was, Chris, the myotonic dystrophy started really manifesting itself after a while, and I would zing Chris just for fun, and that was one of my favorite things to do, was just zing him, and I would just say all these things that were, as you know, just horrible, just absolutely horrible to him, and it was because it was fun. And
now understand, Chris adored this man.
I loved it, absolutely,
and adored what was happening. I have to tell you.
And as you know, everybody walks on eggshells around somebody who they perceive to be ill or disabled, and because God knows the last thing you want to do is offend them. And
but you would have offended him if you'd done the other way.
It got to the point to where I was being very deferential to Chris. I was, being almost, just a very, very a nursemaid towards him. And Joe went home with Chris apparently one evening from Wilton Manors, and he wanted to know why I didn't like him anymore. And I was like, and so Joe called me and told me this. And I was like, what the hell do you mean? And of course, when he explained that to me, I stopped making fun of him, and he couldn't deal with that. That was not something he was very happy about. And so the next time I saw him, I laid into him just because I could. And see, that's the thing. I needed permission. I
Yeah.
needed permission.
And the thing
and
with
I got
Chris,
permission. Huh?
the thing with Chris is this, and folks, again, if you knew Chris and his brothers, there's Patricia Heit. Pat Heit is in the room. This is Chris's mom.
Hello, Pat. How are you?
Yeah, she is in Ohio in the snow. And I talked to her just this afternoon, in fact, from the car as I was wandering around Central Florida aimlessly. But I've got to tell you, again, a lovely, lovely lady is Pat Heit. Just a marvelous.
To give you an example, I mean, Chris would, of course, the myotonic dystrophy was devastating because I knew Chris when he was very, very spry, when he was doing Tigger and whatnot. Yeah. And, and when he got to the point to where his speech was becoming very slowed and very mumbled, I would say, speak up, Chris. What are you talking about? It's, hey, I can't hear. What was that? Would you learn sign language, for God's sakes? I mean, I would say all kinds of awful things, and he loved it. He loved it.
But the thing about Chris, and you all should know this, and his brothers will tell you the same thing, and you'll see them in a video collage that I'm going to do towards the end because I'll probably lose it shortly after that. But think about Chris, and if anybody on this planet could have complained, deserved to complain about his lot in life, if you will, not once.
No, he didn't.
Ever.
He didn't.
Ever did he complain.
He didn't have an ounce of self-pity.
Nope.
No, not at all. This is Pat Heit right in the middle here with Rafiki and Timon in the graveyard at the front of Epcot when they had those crazy ass stones sticking up out the ground.
This was in Festival of the Lion King at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah, yes, he was. As a matter of
Because
fact,
I remember him being in the thing, and Doug and I, this is when Doug and I first started together, and he came, we went to the Magic Kingdom, and we saw Festival of the Lion King, and I knew that Chris was doing either Timon or it was Timon, wasn't it?
No. He would have been Rafiki.
Yeah.
At any given time, or at the Festival Animal Kingdom Festival.
Yes.
Lion King. At the Festival of Lion King, he was in what the hell was he in? The giraffe.
Okay.
The giraffe. He was also in Simba sometimes because he was a puppeteer in that.
Yeah.
I remember knowing which one he was, but I don't anymore. I remember yelling, "Yay!"
Oh yeah. And odds are he may have heard it. He may have probably just heard it just now. And he's probably getting, but we talk about Wilton Manors. I have three favorite four favorite photos of Chris.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Let me start with this one. This is at probably the Magic Kingdom because the green fence tells me that. Probably around June. The red shirt tells me that. And then this one, Michael, you'll get a kick out of this. This was on the River Ship Romance when you did your show.
Oh,
okay. Edna did her show on the River Ship Romance. It's a great picture of him.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my favorites, and I'm going to tell you why. And
God, I hope
Pat, don't get mad at me. This is Chris no, I'm not going to know. This is there's nothing bad. This is Chris at Epcot Center. This is just past France, where Chris drank a Grey Goose vodka lemon drink. Chris was bombed in this photo. Just absolutely bombed. It was hysterical. We had to sit for about 20 minutes. This one was at a local garden center where they had Bigfoot. And you have to have his picture taken with that. But my absolute favorite, and that is always with me, this particular photo that I'm going to show you now.
The one I was thinking of was at Halloween and Wilton Manors.
I can't show that picture.
Where you were in the
but I was Dumbledore and he was dressed as Harry Potter. Yes, that was No, I'm not going to show that one.
Harry
This is
Potter
my favorite.
jockstrap.
Thank you very much. Well, it was not. It was underwear. Don't start. His mom is here. Chris was in his bathing suit, basically. Anyways, and a shirt. He wasn't naked or anything like that. But this particular picture is in Wilton Manors. This is actually at Stonewall Pride.
Mhm.
This was, I think, the second last time or the last time we were there. We had gone to see our friend Dawn at her sub shop called the Pink Sub, which is no longer there, so don't look for it. But she's there somewhere. Just look for the Pink Sub on Facebook, and if you want to order some good sandwiches, you can. But that picture has always been my favorite.
That's a great picture.
Yeah.
Isn't it terrific?
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And ain't no person on this planet going to tell me he wasn't the handsome son of a gun. I'll tell you what. There's Bill Hack. Bill Hack is here from California. That's not COVID. That's breathing.
Attractive.
Yeah, that was not. No, that was not Michael.
It was so fun. Oh, this is really nice. My nephew Jesse, who is an amazing guy.
Aww.
Thank you guys for being such wonderful friends. My Uncle Joey's tough, but I am positive having supportive friends like you, the two of you, and I am sure, well, the three of you guys actually now, I am sure many more that I am not aware of helps him through. Gotta run, Uncle Joe. Well, good. Thanks, buddy.
Oh,
That was very nice. Crap. I wish I hadn't read that out loud. Okay. Anyways.
Notice how they didn't mention me at all.
Well, no, you weren't in the room.
We're not.
He wrote it before you got there.
We didn't have you in the room at that.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
William Hack here, who has just entered the forum.
Into the room.
Is a friend of Chris's from many, many, many moons ago. Prior to me, prior to all of you.
I'm going to see something. There we go.
I guess.
Michael.
Oh, he went widthwise.
And Bill is
Like I people
Bill. Bill lives in California now with his partner of
Cool.
many years, and one of the greatest moments in the I guess I can say this, the final portion of Christopher's life. One of the best things was Bill got in touch with him, and they got to FaceTime, and Chris was. Hang on a second. Go if you can, Bill. Send me your. Please send me your email address, and I will send you a link. Okay, that's for Bill Hack, so he knows how to get in here, because I do want to have him on too. Anyways, Bill and Chris got to FaceTime, and Chris, it was tough for Chris to really make everything, to be able to express himself, as Michael knows, Jack knows, and I think you saw it a couple of times at least, Danny, that it was tough for him to I'm trying to get this. I don't know how to.
Yeah, it was hard for him to articulate a lot of times.
Yeah.
Articulate.
So, but
Yeah.
I've got to tell you that when at Comcast, does that say Comcast.net?
Yes, it do.
Hang on one second. I'm just putting him giving him the link. There, oh, beautiful. It's still there. Thank God. Okay. Bill, I sent you an email. Just click on that link. It'll bring you in the studio. This is exciting. Anyways, and they connected on FaceTime, and Chris was, and I think Bill will that was pretty, Michael. Bill will
stand it.
Chris was sharp as a tack talking to Bill in California, and he was so excited to be able to talk to Bill, and he was articulating, and he was really concentrating.
As you remember, there were times when all of a sudden it would almost go away.
Yeah.
It would almost go away, and he was able to just talk in full sentences without a stumble, without anything. And you'd be like, what the hell? You know, you didn't see it coming, but it happened.
Yeah, it kind of snapped in and snapped out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'll tell you something, folks, that only happened when Chris was really comfortable with who he was with.
Sure.
Okay. You know, I had a couple of people while we're waiting for him, and I'm hoping we're going to get him. Just click on that link when you get that email, Bill and or William. I don't know what you want to be called, and you'll come into the studio in a moment. There he is. But real quickly, let me tell you, Joe Petrovich, who worked with Chris at Walt Disney World, sent a little note saying he remembers working with Chris at what was the helliest, he called it, firehouse sets as Pluto, because they were just forever. And of course, you had that big long blop in the middle where you couldn't be out there, because if they looked around the corner, you could see Pluto on the stage or whatever the case may be, or in the parade. So he would say that, I'll have you in a second, Bill. And he said that he and Chris talked about everything and anything. And Chris made that helliest time just that much easier.
Oh my God. I just remembered another story. I don't know if Chris ever told you this, but I was doing Tony at from Lady and the Tramp, Tony's Tavern Restaurant, for the breakfast show. And
I ate there the other day.
Did you really? I saw Chris in the tunnel, and I asked him where he was going to be performing, and he said it was in the square. And so I came out in costume with the apron, the whole and walked up to Tigger, and knocked on his nose like this and said, "Hello, hey, you got an air conditioner in there?" And
oh God!
He just put his head down and was like, "Oh God!" And so I said, "No, you got no air conditioner in there." I'm so sorry. And I said, I got air conditioner in here, but it comes out as sweat. And and so I said, buongiorno, and I walked back to the restaurant, and I said, when I saw him later, I said, I hope he didn't get in any trouble. I said, I didn't, but I said, I hope you didn't get in any trouble, and he said, no. They said they just wondered who you were.
Yeah, the people going, who in the hell was that nut that came out of there? Hey, listen, I've got Bill here from California, and Bill is literally, probably the oldest friend Chris has in here. Not in age. Well, yeah, I guess in age too, Bill. I'm sorry, but let me bring Bill in all the way from California. Hey, Mr. Hack.
Hi, everyone.
Look at how beautiful it is.
Can you hear me?
You can. Can you hear us?
Good.
Where exactly are you, Bill?
Well, I'm up at Russian River right now, but
that's such a wonderful place.
Go ahead, Bill.
Well, we live in San Francisco, my husband and I, and we have a little house up in Guerneville at the Russian River, and we come up here a lot.
By the way,
day. It was 70 degrees and sunny today.
How beautiful.
And
how wonderful.
Not so bad.
That was pretty. So we've got New York represented, and we've got California represented. And Pat is in the room. Chris's mom is in the gallery out there, and I have to ask, Bill, do you have a favorite Chris story from bygone days? There's one I want you to tell.
Well, I'm not sure how much his mom would want to hear it, but Chris was in a musical in Norwalk, and we'd been friends for a long time, and so we went to Norwalk to see him in the show. And we were at his parents' house, and we were cooking bratwurst out on the patio on the grill. And
this is the one.
they had these big sliding glass doors that went out to the patio, and the bratwurst started burning on the grill. And so I ran out to the patio to the grill and went right through the solid plate glass window.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
So on my face, pretty much unconscious. They took me to the hospital by ambulance. And poor Chris, he had to go do the show.
Oh my
My
God.
goodness. Oh my
So
goodness.
they stitched me up at the hospital, and then Chris and Terry came to the hospital after I was stitched up and out of the emergency room, and he still had his makeup on from the show, and so I don't know. That's the story. And
What show was this?
I forget what it was called. It was like a musical review. And
Chris did a lot of that sort
we
of
went
thing.
back a couple weeks later, and we got to see the show.
Oh
And
my
I had like
gosh.
splint on my leg, splint on my ankle.
Oh my gosh.
About 124 stitches.
So Pat, there. Oh my God! I didn't know that part. So Pat,
yeah.
that's the story, and it's right from the horse's mouth. It did happen. Pat wasn't sure if she remembered that or not when we talked to her about it. But I think you remember, if you remember the video chat that you guys had. He was so strong and alert
Yes, he
during
was.
that.
His memory was great. He remembered the times he would come and stay at my house in Toledo, in the Old West End, and he brought up some of those memories. He remembered the dog. He remembered my neighbors. It was going out to the disco, and yeah, that was a very special visit, Joe.
You know what? It was to me as well to watch him with you and interact with you. And that had been, wow, a lot of years in between. A lot of years in between. And I wish we could have done it again, you know. But that, you know, I wish we'd done a lot of things again when it comes down to it. Chris was an amazing person. I don't think there's a person here who wasn't touched by his sense of humor, his talent. He had a wicked sense of humor, just insane. Thus, I wish I had the picture on here, but Chris and I went to Wilton. What was it? What do they call it? Wilton
Wicked Manners.
Wicked Manners one year for Halloween, dressed as Dumbledore and Harry Potter. Okay, and Chris had a pair of Jesus. I don't even know I'm telling the story. Chris had, but it is part of his life, and he had a great sense of humor, and this is what he wanted to do. He had a Harry Potter. I'm telling this in front of his mother too. Oh Jesus, she'll kill me. She's gonna kill me. And he's wearing this Harry Potter robe and a shirt and these Hogwarts briefs. Hand to God. He's a good-looking guy. Okay, I mean, really, Chris was a good-looking guy. Right up until the last day he breathed, he was a good-looking guy, as far as I'm concerned. And frankly, because of that outfit, I was the envy of all I surveyed. Am I right, Michael?
Yeah, it was, but it was the whole joke that Dumbledore was a pedophile.
Well, of course, that was the gag.
Yeah.
That was the gag. And so you thought your story was going to disturb his mother. I can just imagine what that just did. Oh, I love this. David Heit, Tessa, and I are enjoying the stories. Thank God somebody is. I'm having a ball. I really am. And I'm not freaking out yet, so that's good. I am so thrilled you're all here. We've got about 3 minutes left in the hour, and before we close out, I did a where is it? I did a little video montage, if you will, of Chris. Just want to show Webster because he'd be very upset if I did.
Webby.
That's also in Wilton Manors. And And one more time, I'm going to show this photograph. I want to just show you something. Look at that. Oh, my God. It's the last time we were at the Magic Kingdom. And that's all of me right there.
Oh, stop.
A whole lot of me. And I just don't want you to think I still look.
The time in which you were at your largest and I was at my smallest. And but not for long. Then we've morphed.
Yeah, we kind of traded places there.
You morphed.
I did a video montage. I'm not entirely sure if the censors are going to let me get away with the music. We'll see.
Oh, who cares at this point?
Well, you know how they are. But ladies and gentlemen, I did this afternoon. I wasn't going to do it. In fact, I did it about an hour before the show aired. Here we go. A little tribute to all of our friend, Christopher Heit. That was the brothers, if you didn't know. Love that. Of course, the obligatory Webster shot. That's in France. All of our friends from the Philly Metropolitan Community Church. Handsome man on Wilton Drive, right there. That's he and his dad. Also he and his dad. I did the brothers again because I like that shot. The only time Chris and I appeared together at the Magic Kingdom ever. Okay, and we're back.
We made it.
Very nice.
Thank you. I got to tell you, I'm going to say this as quickly as I can and as succinctly as I can. And then I'd like, if each of you would like to say something after that, you're welcome to. Then I'm going to say something again, I guess. But I am the single luckiest man alive to have had this guy in my life for over 30 years. And frankly, thank you, Savino. And frankly, he's still with me. Stuff happens around here. You can't believe stuff happens around here. A picture of Carol Channing. We both bought a magazine cover, fell off the wall one night. What the hell? And then it did. And then a big picture of Carol, myself, and Chris fell off the wall in the bedroom. And here's the kicker on that. When it happened,
it was
the
Christmas
dog
Eve,
jumped
wasn't it?
about 4 feet when it fell, but the dog walked to the end of the bed and looked and went, "Oh, okay," and came back and laid down next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think that meant? So I have to tell you, folks, I am blessed in so many ways, most of all by definitely having people like you in my life, all of you people in the room as well. Chris's mom, everyone. God, I'm lucky. But to have had Chris, oh my gosh, you just don't know. Or maybe you do. Jack, if you've got anything to say, please feel free.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, I can talk. I wish
I'm about to drop.
Wait,
let's do
Go,
Bill
Bill,
first. real quick.
Go, Bill. Go.
It was so good to see you all. Joe, he will always be with you.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. I know that. I know that, and I thank you for that.
And we're going to keep in touch.
Please do. Please
right.
do. That would please me greatly. I'm looking for a vacation
I'll
after
stay
all
on
this.
until the battery dies.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for coming in. Okay, Jack, go ahead.
Bye, Bill. I'm not a lot to say. I think it's all been said, but Joe and I have been talking a lot since and before. And it's a funny thing sitting there talking about just all the stories about Chris and everything. And the one thing that always got me about Chris was snarky, like you, Michael. Snarky, but one of the kindest people. I never heard him say anything bad about anybody. He was just so accepting and so just kind. A kind man.
Trump. Even
I know.
Trump.
I know. That's what was so crazy. And I think that's the thing I will remember and keep. And yes, Joe is right. He's still here. So I'm done. Okay.
Annie?
I think he's still here. You know my feelings on this, Joe. We've talked about this. I think they're all still here. Everybody we love, that spirit it doesn't just go. It has to stay. It's here. And I think we'll never really know how many lives he actually touched because his career at Disney, you don't know. You don't know, how many Make-A-Wish kids did he hug? Yeah. How many, my mom, how many little old ladies did he make their day just by being? And how many smiles did he put on their faces? And that to me is a legacy that, that legacy lives on. So no matter what, he's still here. He's still here in ways we don't even know. Of course, he's still here in your day to day. And I'm sure he's knocking pictures off the wall and blowing light bulbs and all the stuff they do when they get over on the other side, because I know that for sure. But he's also here in ways that we can't even fathom, touching hearts of people, just that he didn't even realize when he was doing it, what an impact he had. I'm sure of it.
Ooh, that was nice. Thank you. Michael.
I can't
say
anything more that's not already been said, but he was a good guy. He really was a good guy, and he cared very deeply about you, just as much as you cared about him. And, it was very funny. I remember a story in which he called you a roommate and you said, "Kiss my ass." But he was a genuinely good guy, and there's not a lot of those left. I don't consider myself one.
Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact. And as in each one of you said the same, pretty much the same thing. You never heard him say anything nasty about anybody. He just didn't have it in him. Even Trump. So, folks, here it is. That is a life well lived. The one and only Christopher John Heit. Now I'm going to say this. And Chris was very into Egyptology, if you didn't know that already. He loved it. Loved it. We always wanted to go to Egypt. We never quite made it. The closest we came was going to England and going to the British Museum and going to the King Tut exhibit in Fort Lauderdale. It was in Fort Lauderdale. But the Egyptians say, or the Egyptians said, maybe they still do. I don't know any Egyptians. But the Egyptians say,
build that pyramid. Build that pyramid.
Thank you. You have two deaths. One is when you physically leave this planet and you're buried or whatever the case may be. The other is when people stop saying your name. So I'm thank you, Chris. Or thank you, Pat. It meant a lot. It meant a lot to us too that you're here. Most assuredly, that's Pat Heit thanking us all for our memories of Christopher. It meant a lot to her, and that it meant a lot to her means a lot to me. I want to throw that in there too. But anyways, the Egyptians said that you have two deaths. Once is when you die, which we're all going to do eventually. Damn it. But then I get to see Chris again. So, that doesn't suck. The other, of course, is when they stop saying your name. So, I got almost there. I almost made it.
You can do it. You can do it. Come on. You can do
here's
it.
the deal, folks. I'm going to say it right now, loud and clear. Christopher John Heit. I say it every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find time in a day, folks, say it. Don't forget this amazing soul. And don't ever let it go away. Once with me, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Christopher
John
Heit. What an awesome guy. And with that, I'm just going to close out. I'm going to play the video again, folks. Annie, thank you so much. I love you. I love you. Michael, what words can I say to you, buddy? You mean so much to me. You meant so much to Chris. Both you and Doug. Doug, too. Where's Doug?
He's in the bedroom unpacking things.
Give our love to Doug, okay?
We will.
Please give our love to Doug. Yes, you meant so much to both of us, and you always will, buddy. You always will. Jack, well, you are one of my, if not my dearest friend. You and Michael and Ann, I mean, you're all here, and I appreciate that. Right now, we're going to close out with that video one more time of all those pictures, and then I'm going to end the broadcast. I want to thank everybody who came in. I love you all dearly, and I mean that sincerely. When you get out there, remember, look for the helpers. They're out there. They're out there. And when you find them, jump on board. Become one, because I'm going to tell you something. Ain't no better feeling. Ain't no better feeling. I love you. Good night, and may your God go with you. Here's the closing, and it's my buddy Chris. My husband, Chris, the best fucking thing that ever happened to me, okay? Yeah, I said fuck in front of you again, Pat. I'm sorry. Long story. Here it is. Thank you, buddy, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay. Ugh. You okay, Annie?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. He got it through. He got through it.
Yeah. It was good.
Oh,
It was
yeah. That was good. That was
everybody
really
should be remembered that way.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, we talk about him. We talk about him almost every single no. Joe and I talk a lot. I'm sure you and he talk a lot too. And somehow he's always in the conversation and he always will be.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's how it should be. That's
Yeah.
how you keep somebody alive. Sadly, I've been to many virtual funerals lately, and I would much rather have something like this,
yeah.
where it is a celebration of life,
Yeah.
than gloom and doom.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we've lost. There's just been so many. And that's how I mean, it's funny, not funny, haha, but it's funny because Joe and I've been talking about it. I mean, you know, and he yells at me. I mean, I'm like, what can they hear us? No. Okay. What? I mean, I'm going to be 68. I'm not going to be around forever, you know? And he goes, well, you know, yes, you are. And I'm like, no, but you know, you have to think about this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's gotta be celebration. And what I really loved is what you said. You don't know. I mean, any of us in the entertainment business, we don't know who we touch, how we touch them. Joe has no idea all the people he's touched. He has no idea. He keeps saying, you know, but he has no idea how much he's loved.
Yeah.
And that was something that was something Chris would say, that he doesn't know how much he's loved. You know, Chris knew that.
Yeah.
And I wish I had known Chris. I never knew Chris healthy.
Yeah.
I never knew him healthy. By the time I really started getting into their life and stuff, I mean, I felt
for me, it was the opposite. I only knew Chris then.
Healthy.
You know, I only had a glimpse of Chris in the last few years. So all of my memories of Chris are young, energetic Chris. Arthur and Pluto and
I think I in fact, I know that I saw them. I know that I saw them because we were out there all the time doing the tours and stuff like that. And this was in the mid 80s and early 90s and everything. And it's kind of weird because that last week, Joe kept writing me and he kept on saying, he's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. And when he wrote me, he said, I was fighting it because I knew, you knew too. And I said, yeah, I knew. And what's really sad, and I think of Chris a lot, is because a very dear, dear friend of mine has the same thing. And it's just starting to affect her. She's tired all the time. It's starting to affect her arms. So she's having problems lifting her arms. She's had to get the alert bracelet because she's had one episode, you know, where the muscles around the lungs and it's the same thing. But she doesn't have a Joe. She has her son.
Yeah.
Her son is not far and she has me. I'm, you know, so I'm kind of like, you know, but he was so lucky to have you guys.
It's hard. It's hard to go through that. It really is. It's hard to go through that. It's hard to watch somebody that you care about go through that.
Yeah. And I know he would get frustrated because he couldn't articulate a lot of times.
And you remember how you used to be and you want to be that person. You know, I've seen so many people decline and it breaks my heart because seeing it through their eyes. They want to be able to still do what they used to be able to do, and they just can't do it anymore.
Do you know Jennifer Gray at all?
I don't think so.
She's a musician in the area.
Okay.
She also has the same thing.
Mhm.
Well, hers is more muscular dystrophy.
Okay.
The same, but the other
Same
side.
family of diseases.
But
But yeah.
she's having a really hard time. And she has a service dog, and
Mhm.
she's a wonderful, wonderful musician, fabulous musician.
Mhm.
And she's just starting to say, you know what? If I have to go on stage in a wheelchair, I'm going on stage. And I didn't want to have to face it, but I am, you know? And you're right. It's so hard to see it, but as hard as it is to see it, it's got to be harder to live it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So having somebody like Michael, who's like asshole, you know? Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we probably should go.
Yes. Well, take care of yourself. And I really do think the whole universe is crazy the way it connected you and my Emily and Joe and me.
I know. Isn't that whack?
There's a divine order we don't understand. I believe.
Exactly. Yeah. So give a Jon Snow a yeah. You have a multi-talented daughter, by the way.
Thank you.
In case you did, I'm sure you knew that. She is amazing.
I had a hunch, but
Yeah, she really is amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
And she is, and you've raised a very kind young lady too.
Well, she loves you. You hung in as far as she's concerned. So.
I adore her. She is the best. She really is. And I'm gonna get all soppy again. So there. Yeah, please give her my love, okay?
I will. Take care of yourself, and I will see you again soon.
Bye, honey.
Bye.